So this topic has literally just come to mind from a conversation I've had only minutes ago. I meet quite a lot of people in my work doing location recording, because often I'm trying to track down specific things, sometimes unusual things, and right at the moment I'm wanting to capture some sounds of some trains, and specifically sort of the heavy freight trains, etc. And somebody recommended that I go to a location, and I thought, well, all right, I'll see if I can find out a little bit more. And so I went into the information centre, and there was a lovely old lady there who was working there, and she is used to dealing with tourists, but she took the time to explain to me the context of why, and went into a little bit of information about the actual station in the town that I'm in. And this is the train station was absolutely staggering. It's a beautiful old train station in this country town in Victoria that was built during the gold rush era, and it's huge and ornate and just lovely. And she was sort of, telling me about how the freight yards used to work, etc. Now, I could suggest that this is all information that I don't need to know, because I just want to record some sounds, and I could have just gotten the information from her and then said thanks very much and just walked away. But I didn't, for a couple of reasons. One, just out of sheer courtesy. She was going to the trouble of giving me extra information. She was being helpful, she was being kind. But two, because you never know what else you're going to find if you take the time to actually listen to somebody who has that experience, who has that knowledge. And one of the things that I've found to be one of the most useful and helpful things in my journeys around wanting to do recordings is speaking to old people who have lived very full and interesting lives. And it took 5 or 10 minutes of my time to sit or stand and listen to this woman, and I found out all sorts of interesting things that I think I am the richer for knowing, because I got a bit of a story of why this fairly small country town ended up with this really quite lavish and ornate train station, and she gave me some really useful information about where the guys come in the evening to do the shunting, and that it does happen almost all evenings. And I've had this happen multiple times where I've wanted to try and find out, I want to record X. And I've gone into an information centre, or I've gone to a museum, and I've talked to a volunteer who, again, quite often they are elderly people who have got so much experience and so much knowledge, and often they just freely want to share it because they really enjoy talking to somebody who has an interest in a similar area to them. And I've wanted to record X, and I've gone and talked to somebody, and then found the person I was talking to has said, you're interested in recording? Well, you should try this and this and this and this in the area. And they've told me things that I would never in a million years have stumbled across. And so while a lot of us in the creative industries, I think, understand and acknowledge the value of experience for somebody who does our specific job, sure, we'll talk to somebody who's been a recording engineer for 30 years and we'll learn from them. Or we talk to somebody who's been, a stage actor for 50 years and we'll go, she knows so much, there's so much I can learn from her, that's amazing. But I think sometimes we overlook just talking to people who have lived and who have experience and can pass on things that they maybe did 40, 50 years ago that were very, very common to them, that are absolutely unique to us because our world has changed, and there may be super interesting places to go and take interesting photos, or super inspirational places to go and do some painting or drawing, or super amazing sort of exhibits in old tiny little museums that might give you insight into acting a role in a film or television, or inspiration for writing music. And I mean, for me, I guess the realization is more significant because I never met any of my grandparents. They all died. They lived overseas and they all died before I got a chance to meet any of them. And so I've not really been that exposed to people significantly older than me in that regard. I wanted to pass that on because it was a realization literally from just talking to a lovely old lady who went above and beyond, sharing information that was really, really valuable to me, and even the information that was just historical, that's not anything that I can work with my sound recording, was still just really, really lovely to know. And so I really appreciate her sharing her knowledge and experience. So yeah, maybe we all need to go out and spend some more time talking to some old folk, because we're all going to be old folk eventually, and I think we'll probably all appreciate having people talk to us. Anyway, thanks for listening.